Johannesburg to Cape Town is one of the most daunting road trips you can undertake across South Africa. Excluding stops, this trip would take you over 15 hours and 1,400 kilometers to complete. So, what if instead of rushing to the destination, we made it a 7-day adventure, taking roads less traveled on a mission to discover what interesting, weird, breathtaking landmarks we might find. Welcome to our cross-country grand tour.
What do we have here?
Yeah, well look, we're in the middle of nowhere. About 280 k's in. My Kia told me stop for a break, and so here we are admiring the no fire sign, all 3 cows that are by this tiny little dam, broken windscreens on the side of the road. There's not much to kind of look at for about the first 300-400 k's, but the best part is that the worst part is behind us.
I'm excited.
What you gonna do now?
Oh, that open road.
There's nothing quite like it.
Well, every few kilometers, it just gets a little bit more beautiful. You feel like you can breathe.
Yeah.
All that stress and pressure that's in the big city is kind of left behind.
But wouldn't you rather be breathing in that Joburg smog?
Been saving up your whole life, and now the rain's gonna fall.
Day 1 of the road trip from Joburg to Cape Town. We've just arrived at our first stop, Gariepdam. This beautiful hotel that we're staying at, it's called The Still. I came here a few weeks ago and I knew this is where we had to stay. But just look at these views. I cannot wait to go down there and have a look. But first, we're gonna grab a little bite to eat. I hear the Karoo lamb is the thing. I'm starving. Let's do this. Well, they nailed it. Hello guys. Can I meet the chef? Yes. Are you the chef?
Yeah,
What's your name?
Patricia.
Patricia. Now I know what to call my daughter. Give me a hug. Oh my goodness, that lamb, was it made with the tears of 3 baby angels? What do you put in that lamb shank? Tell me.
Just a lot of love.
A lot of love?
Yeah.
I'll high five you for a lot of love. Let's go get to that little dam wall.
That damn wall.
Yeah, Jandra and I have been standing on this Gariepdam wall getting some photographs. And it's actually impossible to capture the scale and the magnificence of this place. And I was researching a little bit about the town. It's so interesting to find out that Gariepdam is the youngest town in South Africa. It was originally built as a village to house the dam's labor force. It's also the most central point in South Africa. And they've got 4 hydroelectric turbines that feed electricity into the Eskom grid. But I'm telling you, standing here and just taking this in, I can't believe humans built this. It's just epic on another scale. And so picturesque here because you've got that bridge down there.
Yeah.
This like archaic, what feels like government building on the left, and you are standing on these big sloughs.
3, 2, 1, and...
It's a brand new day, and we're back on the road. So we have just left Gariepdam, and we are making our way to Nieu-Bethesda. Definitely feels like we're in the Wild West. Are those geese? Those are geese. What happened? What happened? And then?
Yeah.
Oh, those are scary little buggers actually.
It's locked onto you, eh? That thing is out for blood.
This is such a quintessential South African stop, the Padstal. No matter where you drive along our roads across the country, you get to stop at what feels like millions of these types of stores, and each of them has their own character. You go inside, drivers, biltong, marmalades, jams, quite a thing. The place is super cool. Like, one of my favorite things is all these little pieces of art that they make. It has a very unique South African feel to it. Look at that. That is old school. Oh, there's our chom. No wonder they were blue. One of them got turned.
Having arrived at the strange town of Nieu-Bethesda, we quickly threw down our bags and headed out to discover just what this place had to offer.
Genre, this is going to be f***ing cool. You think with this cacti we can make some tequilch?
Maybe. It's a very pretty plant. I mean, why don't you give it a hug? It looks very cozy.
Yeah. No. I love you. Not that much.
As we were trying to find our way in the small town,
Let's ask for directions. Do you think
No,
they'll know?
no.
it wouldn't take long for many of its inhabitants to find us, and before we knew it, we would have run-ins with a wide array of the local population.
So what kind of a dog is that?
I think it's an Alsatian.
Oh, hectic.
Along the way, we also found this really cool abandoned pot stall that we simply had to check out.
Let's go have a look at what's potting here.
Weird to think that this was functional at one point.
Or maybe it was built like this.
As we continued exploring, we eventually came across yet another pot stall. This one was open, and we were surprised to discover that it had an aesthetic that was one of a kind.
Wow. The most interesting pot stall ever.
It's very pagan.
As we briefly admired Boskop's fairly unique livestock, we decided to head out toward our next destination.
Hop in, boots.
And it was on our way there that we started to realize just how much there was to see and do scattered throughout this small town. From the wide variety of artisanal restaurants to whatever the hell those things are, this town offered so much more than meets the eye.
What an experience. We ended up having an apple cider and a pale ale beer, as you can see, a little wobble.
Cheers, Mr. Sham. Cheers.
And we had this cheese board platter. Go right over there. I'm actually going to see what this pickle's like right now. But I love places like this. Like, just look at it. So rustic. This is an absolute win. Place is just full of life. It's so artistic, and it resembles this town, Nieu-Bethesda. I've definitely had 2 beers. I could tell for sure. I needed to kind of get this out of my system so we can fill the rest of this place.
Having left with a brand new appreciation for handcrafted beers and ciders, we headed back to the bed and breakfast for a quick breather.
Oma en opa sit op die stoep.
Yeah.
Opa gee 'n moerselpoep.
But how lekker is this?
That's great.
We came back to the room. We're staying at a place called Backpackers. And we were like, okay, we're just going to stop for 5 minutes, get some water. And then this storm rolled over. And it's turning out to be so beautiful. You just sit here on the stoop watching the rain, although I'm getting rained on suddenly. But wow.
After a few more minutes of heavy rainfall, we realized that our Kia was halfway underwater. So I threw on a jacket, tried my best to amp myself up in preparation to salvage the car. But fate would have other plans.
Well, let's just say these Adidas aren't made for slippery conditions.
Eventually the clouds broke and we heard a commotion in the distance, so we decided to check it out. Turns out it's some kind of art event.
Well, who are you? All I can tell you is that I'm standing here with Kathy, and that's all I know. What on earth, who are you, and what is this?
I'm an artist and an art teacher. Every year, twice a year, I bring an art group here to Nieu-Bethesda, and we have 9 days of pure creation.
Wow. So what we're seeing right now is all the work that was created in the last 9 days.
Yes.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Sue Houghton, and I do art with Kathy Milner.
Sue and Kathy were then kind enough to show us their collection of flowers.
It's crazy to me. Like, people would probably think this town's very boring if they've never been here. And then you get here, and it's anything but. The final stop of the evening here in Nieu-Bethesda, we've landed up at the Sterling. It's a restaurant at the Ibis, and we are about to experience the Karoo food experience. We've been given one of these herbal teas. Ooh.
Which was a perfect prelude to the incredibly creative dishes that the host would serve to us. Starting with a beetroot soup.
Oh my goodness, that is so good.
Followed by some kind of goat's cheese croquette thing.
Wow. We need like 10 of those.
And then the course was rounded off with a tube of yogurt-infused stuff.
So our next course is Who Are You? We've made some dacha pasta, which we've filled with mushroom-soaked absinthe. I've done an absinthe sauce on top, some opium poppy seeds, and a dry dacha.
Wow.
So enjoy.
First, that dacha leaf tastes exactly like a dacha leaf. The number one thing is that it's freshly made pasta. Oof. Chandra, you are in for a treat, big boy. This.
And you'll have your smiling cat. in the tree.
I love that. Okay, well, let's take the Cheshire cat out of the tree.
Cat's out of the bag now, Mr. Sham.
Why so serious?
The very next course was a karoo in a nutshell. Slow-cooked lamb with some farm-style rice, a freshly baked pastry, followed by one of two hearty desserts.
The heart of hearts. I think it's such a good play.
We've got a Wilde Els meringue, roasted garlic ice cream. I've got some edible glass and some unicorn sprinkles, just because we can.
I think Sterling has done a phenomenal job. Valley of Desolation. I've never been here, have you?
I can't say that I have.
The number of things that I get to do for the very first time are diminishing, but this is one of them. I mean, come on. The thing that makes it very unique is I've stood on lots of viewpoints, but I've never heard the ambient noises of the birds and whatever other creatures are having a little partake in the Valley of Desolation.
With that, the first leg of our adventure draws to a close, but we haven't even reached the halfway point. So join us for the next episode, where I have trouble keeping my mouth closed.
Hard for me to actually keep my mouth closed.
We explore some valleys, scale a mountain, greet some strangers, take in some impressive views, go cave spelunking, Genre takes a bathroom selfie, and so much more.